Close the door behind you. No, really. This isn't for the open air. You've walked into a room most will never even know exists. The kind of room where words aren't just heard, they're weighed. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to test if you belong, and belonging here carries a price. Once you learn how power is truly moved, you can't unlearn it. You'll see the gears behind the faces, the hands inside the gloves, and you'll know forever that the rules you were taught as a child were written to keep you obedient. I'm not promising you comfort. I'm offering you the framework to be untouchable, not invincible. That's a myth, but untouchable in the way kings, warlords, and shadow brokers have been for centuries. Every capability I'll share with you tonight can be turned into an empire or a weapon. Which it becomes depends entirely on the ruler in front of me. If you want this door to stay open, stay sharp. Hesitation is the first thing this room eats alive. Ready? Then we begin. You can't rule a kingdom if you can't rule your own impulses. Most men are tyrants to others and slaves to themselves. You will be neither. Sovereign command begins with the discipline to act without the constant tug of comfort, fear, or ego. Imagine an emperor in his court, every gesture deliberate, every word chosen. That's how you must govern your own mind. You don't wake up when you feel like it, you wake when you've decided. You don't speak because silence feels awkward, you speak when it serves your aim. This is not about coldness, it's about clarity. Weak rulers are ruled by mood. Strong rulers dictate the weather inside their own chest. And here's the secret no one tells you. When others see that you are not a hostage to your urges, they instinctively trust or fear you. Both are useful. The first war is always within, and it never ends. But once you hold dominion over yourself, no insult can provoke you, no temptation can derail you, and no flattery can buy you. You'll have built the one fortress no enemy can breach, because it lives behind your eyes. The impatient are always outmaneuvered. They want now. They press, they push, they break formation, and that's when you gut them, without lifting a blade. You must learn to treat time like a coiled spring wound in your hand. Sometimes you strike instantly, more often you let it tighten. Let others exhaust themselves with frantic moves while you appear still. Stillness unnerves the desperate. They reveal themselves when they think you've gone dormant, and then you decide when the moment is ripe. This is not laziness, it's predation. A lion doesn't chase every antelope it sees, it waits for the stumble. Patience is sharper than the sword because it works in silence and no one sees it until it's too late. Control the tempo of every interaction. Make others wait for your answer. Make them wonder if you've forgotten them, when in truth, you've been counting their blinks. If you can decide when the game is played, you've already decided who wins. Remember, timing isn't about moving slow, it's about making every second kneel to your purpose. Power that can be seen can be attacked. The art is to influence in such a way that no one is quite sure where the orders came from. Wear no title, yet move the titled. Stand outside the spotlight, yet own the stage. This is the invisible crown. It's why some kings feared their advisors more than their enemies, because the advisor's fingerprints were nowhere, yet his will was everywhere. To master this, you must trade credit for control. Let others believe the idea was theirs, the strategy their genius. Your ego will want applause. Kill that need. Influence thrives in the shadows because shadows are immune to assassins. If you can guide outcomes without bearing the weight of public blame, you become untouchable. And here's the irony. Those who hold the visible crown often serve those who do not. Learn to pull strings from behind the curtain, and the stage will dance exactly as you command, while your name is never spoken aloud. Noise is cheap. Everyone's talking, explaining, defending. Strategic silence is the opposite. It costs you nothing and forces others to spend everything. When you withhold your words, they fill the gap with guesses, fears, or hopes. Silence breeds weight. A ruler who speaks too often becomes predictable. A ruler who vanishes from the conversation becomes a question mark. And a question mark is dangerous. This isn't about ignoring people, it's about choosing absence as a presence. Withdraw your attention from a rival and they'll start to feel it like hunger. Pause before answering and you'll make your words expensive. The mind will always overvalue what it cannot easily have. The less you speak, the more each syllable becomes currency. Learn to let the silence lean on the room until others start moving just to fill it. That's when you control not only the conversation, but the pace of thought itself. In this life, no fortress holds without trusted walls. The iron circle is that wall, those select few whose loyalty is so absolute that betraying you would destroy them too. You don't build this by accident. You build it through shared victories, shared secrets, and stakes so intertwined that your rise is their rise. Choose carefully. A wide circle is a weak circle. The strongest rulers kept theirs small enough to dine at one table. And you must test them, not once but constantly. Loyalty is proven under heat, not in comfort. Make it known, without ever saying it directly, that treachery will be met not just with retribution, but with obliteration of the betrayer's future. And reward loyalty so well, it becomes a reflex. Comment below with the phrase, iron calm, sharp mind. That way I'll know you're the kind who understands. The iron circle is not about friendship, it's about survival. Force without precision is just chaos. Anyone can smash a door, few can open it with a single key. The precision strike is about knowing exactly where to apply pressure so that the whole structure collapses with minimal effort and minimal exposure. You don't attack everything, you attack one thing perfectly chosen. The right person in the right moment, the weak hinge in the gate, the single belief holding an enemy together. And you do it cleanly so the world barely registers you moved at all. History remembers assassinations, but it rarely remembers the subtle shifts that ended empires. Sometimes your strike is a word in the right ear. Sometimes it's removing one resource at the exact time it's needed most. If you're sloppy, you make enemies you didn't need. If you're precise, the game ends before the other side knows it began. In the arena of power, the loudest blows are often the weakest. The quiet ones change history. Rigidity is a death sentence. The moment you're predictable, you're vulnerable. Formless adaptation means you can take the shape the moment requires, ally, rival, ghost, storm, while never losing the core that drives you. It's not about being fake, it's about being unreadable. A river can cut stone because it adapts to every curve without losing its direction. The strongest opponents are the ones you can't pin down long enough to strike. Let them think you're cautious, then strike boldly. Let them think you're bold, then vanish entirely. Keep them wrong-footed until they can't map you. But here's the line. You must always know who you are beneath the shifting. If you lose the core, you become a shadow without substance, and shadows can be blown away. True power comes from wearing 1,000 masks without ever mistaking one for your face. Most people wait for perfect resources before they move. That's why they remain powerless. The alchemy of power is the ability to turn whatever you have, no matter how little, into leverage. Start with scraps, end with sovereignty. History is full of rulers who began with nothing but a few loyal men, a small purse of gold, or even just an idea, and turned it into a kingdom. You see opportunities where others see waste. You can turn a rival's insult into a rallying cry, a failed attempt into a narrative of resilience. You understand that influence doesn't require abundance, it requires transformation. This is how you unsettle the comfortable. They believe their wealth or status makes them untouchable, until you start winning without either. And once they see you can do more with less than they can with plenty, they start to fear what you could do if you ever had enough. When the wind howls, most men either panic or hide. The unbreakable mind walks into the storm as if it were a summer breeze. This isn't arrogance, it's preparation. You've already decided who you are before the storm arrives. You've rehearsed loss, rejection, betrayal, so when it comes, it finds you, unmoved. The trick is not to pretend you don't feel the impact, it's to refuse it the power to dictate your next step. Calm is contagious. In the middle of chaos, those who can keep their voice steady and their movements deliberate become the anchor others cling to. And here's the hidden advantage. Storms reveal the weak. When everyone else is scrambling, you're cataloging, observing, positioning. The storm will pass. It always does. And when it clears, those who bent under its weight will look for someone who didn't. Be that figure, and you'll inherit more than you ever lost. Power that dies with you is just ego. Legacy is power that survives your absence. Legacy engineering means making decisions today that will command respect decades, maybe centuries from now. It's playing a game with pieces your grandchildren will still be moving. This requires patience and sacrifice. You may plant trees whose shade you'll never sit under, but here's the truth. Those who build legacies are remembered as architects of worlds. The moves are often invisible at first. An alliance no one understands yet, a system that outlasts every individual in it, a symbol that becomes larger than the man who forged it. Legacy thinking forces you to ask, will this choice echo or will it vanish? A century from now, no one will remember the petty rivalries, but they will still feel the weight of the structures you set in place. This is the final measure of an untouchable ruler, not just what he controls in life, but what he commands in death. Now you've seen the map. 10 capabilities that, if mastered, will make you a ruler in a world of followers. But maps are useless unless you walk the terrain. Some of what I've told you tonight can be practiced openly. Some you will keep hidden because power survives by secrecy. Remember this, the untouchable are not made in public view. They are forged in the quiet hours, when no one is watching, and revealed only when the game is already won. So here's your charge. Start with yourself. Build the fortress inside. Bend time. Wear the invisible crown. Keep your circle iron, your strikes precise, your shape fluid. Turn scraps into power. Face storms without flinching. And move today as if you're already writing history. If you understand what that truly means, then leave your mark here with the words, iron calm, sharp mind. Then, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We've only just begun.